English learners. Welcome back to the A to Z English podcast. I'm John.
And I'm Sarah. We're so glad you've joined us once again. In our last episode, we dove into how idioms can be used in different types of conversations, from casual to formal, and how they add personality and flair to your speech. We explored some popular idioms like piece of cake, on cloud nine, and take the bull by the horns. We hope you've started practicing these in your daily conversations.
That's right, Sarah. Idioms are an incredible way to elevate your English and connect more deeply with the culture behind the language. But today, we're going to shift gears a little and take a step further into another area of English communication: storytelling. Storytelling is a skill that not only engages your listener, but also gives you the opportunity to practice your fluency, vocabulary, and creativity in English. Whether you're telling a personal anecdote, a work-related experience, or even sharing a funny moment with friends, mastering storytelling is key to becoming an effective and engaging communicator.
Exactly, John. Storytelling is present in almost every aspect of our lives, from conversations with friends to professional settings. Being able to tell a story well will help you stand out and leave a lasting impression. And just like with idioms, storytelling can be done in both casual and formal contexts. In today's episode, we'll give you some tips and techniques for telling engaging stories in English, no matter the situation.
1. The power of storytelling. So, why is storytelling so powerful? Well, stories have the unique ability to create an emotional connection between the speaker and the listener. When you share a story, you're not just conveying information, you're taking your listener on a journey. You're engaging their imagination, emotions, and curiosity. This makes storytelling a highly effective way to communicate, whether you're giving a presentation, chatting with friends, or simply sharing an experience.
That's so true, John. And here's the thing. Everyone loves a good story. Think about it. When someone starts telling a story, it instantly captures our attention. We want to know what happens next, how the story will unfold, and what the outcome will be. And the best part is, you don't need to be a novelist to tell a great story. All it takes is some structure and practice.
2. Key elements of storytelling. To help you craft compelling stories in English, let's break down the key elements of storytelling. These elements will act as a framework for you to build your stories around, ensuring that they are engaging and clear. Beginning. Every good story needs a strong opening. This is where you set the scene, introduce the characters, and give some context. Think of the beginning as your opportunity to hook the listener in. Start with something that grabs attention, whether it's a surprising fact, an interesting observation, or a vivid description. Middle. The middle of the story is where the action happens. This is where you introduce the main events, challenges, or obstacles that the characters face. It's important to keep the listener engaged by building suspense or tension. Don't give everything away at once. Use descriptive language and vivid details to bring your story to life. End. Finally, every story needs a satisfying conclusion. This is where you resolve the conflict, reveal the outcome, or share the lesson learned. A good ending will leave the listener with a sense of closure and, ideally, a lasting impression.
Well said, John. And just like we talked about with idioms, the way you deliver your story matters. Your tone of voice, pacing, and use of expressions all contribute to how engaging your story will be. So don't rush, take your time, and let the story unfold naturally.
3. Storytelling in casual conversations. Let's start by looking at how you can use storytelling in casual conversations. These are often conversations with friends, family, or colleagues, where the tone is relaxed and informal. One of the best ways to incorporate storytelling into casual conversations is by sharing personal anecdotes or funny experiences. For example, if a friend asks you how your weekend went, you can use this as an opportunity to tell a short story. Instead of just saying, "It was fine," try expanding on the details. Maybe you had a hilarious encounter at the grocery store or went on an unexpected adventure. Share those moments in a way that paints a picture for your listener.
Exactly. Here's a tip. Don't be afraid to embellish a little when telling a casual story. You can add extra details or exaggerate certain parts to make the story more entertaining. For example, instead of saying, "I was stuck in traffic," you could say, "I was stuck in the worst traffic of my life. It felt like I was trapped in my car for days." This makes the story more engaging and fun to listen to.
And remember, humor is a great tool in storytelling, especially in casual conversations. If something funny happened to you, share it. Laughter helps build connections and makes your story more memorable.
4. Storytelling in professional settings. Now, let's talk about storytelling in more formal settings, such as the workplace. While the tone in these conversations is more serious, storytelling can still be a powerful tool. In fact, sharing a story during a presentation or meeting can help illustrate your points and make your message more relatable. For example, if you're giving a presentation on teamwork, you might share a story about a time when you worked on a successful team project. Describe the challenges you faced, how the team overcame them, and the positive outcome. This not only makes your presentation more engaging, but also helps to reinforce your key message.
That's a great point, Sarah. And when telling stories in professional settings, it's important to be concise and stay focused on the main point. You want your story to enhance your message, not distract from it. So, keep it relevant and make sure it ties back to the topic at hand.
Another tip is to use stories to build credibility. Sharing personal experiences, especially ones that demonstrate your expertise or problem-solving skills, can make you more persuasive and trustworthy in the eyes of your audience.
5. Practice makes perfect. Like with idioms, the best way to improve your storytelling skills is through practice. Start by telling small stories in your everyday conversations. Pay attention to how people react. Do they laugh, smile, or ask questions? This will give you feedback on what works and what doesn't.
And don't be afraid to try different styles of storytelling. Experiment with humor, suspense, or even emotion. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become in telling stories that captivate your audience.
One fun way to practice is by keeping a story journal. Write down interesting things that happen to you each day, and then try turning them into short stories. This will help you improve both your storytelling and your writing skills at the same time.
6. Conclusion and final thoughts. Storytelling is such a valuable skill to have in your English communication toolbox, whether you're using it in casual conversations or professional settings. It's a great way to connect with others, make your speech more engaging, and share your experiences in a memorable way.
That's right, Sarah. We hope today's episode has given you some useful tips and inspiration to start incorporating storytelling into your own conversations. Remember, every great storyteller started somewhere. It's all about practice and finding your own voice.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the A to Z English podcast. Keep practicing your storytelling, and don't forget to share your stories with us. We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye, everyone. Keep telling those stories, and we'll catch you next time.